Hello everyone, my name is Ivy Lu. I'm one of the registered dietitian at the Toronto Western Hospital Bariatric Surgery program. In this module, we'll be talking about protein after bariatric surgery. For SADI patients, the minimum protein goal is 100 to 120 grams per day. The only way that we can know whether you're reaching this goal is to track our food intake. Fortunately, there are many great online tools to help with this. Some examples are Bariatric app or MyFitnessPal app. Each of these free services can be found on the web or on your phone's app store. Now, if apps and websites aren't for you, we still want to do our best to track our protein. To do this, it's important to read food labels, take note or estimate of the protein content each time you eat. This can be recorded in a notebook, on your phone, or wherever you want. If you're using this method, another great tool is found in your nutrition manual, where we have a list of high protein foods and how much protein they contain. This can be helpful for products that don't typically have food labels, such as the meat. Regardless of the method or what tool you use, we want to add up our daily protein, making sure you're getting at least 100 to 120 grams per day. You likely will need to stay on protein supplements to help you meet this goal. Now, to review some food sources of protein, we'll start with the most obvious sources. These include meats like beef and pork, poultry like chicken and turkey, seafood and fish, and eggs. Remember that some of these tough texture meat can be difficult to tolerate at 1 month old surgery. So cut it in small pieces and utilize moist cooking methods such as braising, boiling, stewing, crock pot as much as you can. Dairy foods that have particularly high protein are Oikos 000, Greek yogurt, Skyr Icelandic style yogurt, called the cheese, milk, and cheese. For yogurt in particular, keep an eye on added sugar. Remember, we want foods with less than 10 grams of sugar per serving to avoid dumping syndrome. If you are having a lot of trouble digesting meat protein or animal-based protein, I do encourage you to try vegetarian sources of protein. I know many of us may not be familiar with these foods, but plant-based proteins offer the advantage of being very easy to digest, which is particularly important for bariatric patients, especially if you're having trouble tolerating meat. Foods like tofu, edamame, tempeh, textured vegetable protein, satay, veggie beef rounds, and soy milk are great sources of protein that can really help you during this time. I encourage you all to push outside of your comfort zone and try some of these foods. You can find a list of recipe websites and books at the back of your nutrition manual. You can try bariatricfoodie.com to learn recipes from folks who also had bariatric surgery. Other plant-based protein sources are beans, legumes, nuts, and seeds. Some examples of beans and legumes include kidney beans, chickpeas, and lentils, which are all high in protein and fiber. You can also start to try nuts and seeds at around 6 weeks after surgery. Just be very careful of portions here because nuts and seeds are what we call calorie dense. This means that even as little as 1 cup can be 900 plus calories, which can push us past our calorie limit without knowing it. This is why we recommend limiting your portion to the inside of the palm of your hand or to a maximum of 1/4 cup. There are also a couple of high protein milks that are available on the market. These can be a helpful stepping stone when transitioning from protein supplements to solid protein foods. Some examples are the Fairlife Joya Natural Plus milks. These products are made by essentially taking apart the different components of milk and reassembling them in a way that makes the protein content higher and the sugar content lower. There's also a couple high protein plant-based milks, Ripple, which offer 8 grams of protein, and Milk Enjoy, which is an unsweetened almond milk with 8 grams of protein. These can be found in the grocery store or online, and they can be a great alternative for those who find protein supplements too sweet or too thick. There's also a protein water called Protein 2O that some folks prefer over traditional protein shakes. Another great alternative is Revolution Fruit Splash, a protein powder that resembles juice more than thick protein shakes. Yet another is the plant-based protein shake brand Good Protein that offers some unique flavors such as orange cream pop, chocolate mint, banana cream, as well as unsweetened flavor. These alternatives can be found online for delivery or at supplement stores like Popeyes and GNC. This is an example of what eating may look like on the soft diet while meeting your goal of 100 to 120 grams of protein per day. A meal pattern similar to this will help ensure that you're meeting your protein needs. Take note of the fact that there are high protein foods at every meal and snack, which is very important. At this point, you may be developing taste fatigue for the protein shakes, and you can introduce a different texture, the protein bars, once you're on the soft food diet. We have set out some criteria for choosing protein bars. You are going to receive a protein bar handout as part of your 1-month class package. This handout can also be found on our website at TWH Bariatric Clinic. In general, we want to make sure that all bars have less than 250 calories, less than 10 grams of sugar, and at least 14 grams of protein. To give you a few examples here, the pure protein bar is the most commonly found one and one of the most affordable. The Quest protein bar and Kirkland protein bar are high in fiber, which can be helpful if you're constipated and need to incorporate more fiber. The Quest protein chips is a nice alternative to offer a different texture. You would have received a protein bar handout as part of your 1-month class package, and you can refer to that handout for more information. This is the end of the protein module. I shall see you in the next one.